Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. First journey is picking out what deck we're going to use. I do this before every reading. This is actually the deck that I've been thinking about, but that doesn't mean that it wants to be bothered. So we do get consent before every reading because I want to be sure that the deck that we use wants to actually provide a message, right? So I'm just going to shuffle the deck until one card comes out. We're only going to take one. So, and it's either a yes or no card. And if it's a no card, we just move on to the next deck. So that's why I have all these decks out here. So while we're doing that, just a quick little setting expectations. What was that? Seven of Cups reversed. We're going to take that as a no. I'm not psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I do know these cards, and my intention is to give you the message as it's coming through to me in as many ways as it is coming through to me. And also, I like to, Page of Swords, the Star, okay, I think we will. We will use, I think this is the Guardians deck. I haven't even actually used this deck for YouTube readings before, so that's fun. Okay. So, what was I saying? I like to explain the cards to you because no doubt you are receiving your own message, your own confirmation, because obviously you're the one that's living your life. So if there is not a message that I'm saying out loud, but there is something that is coming through to you that is very much a message, but also at the same time, don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole to fit a narrative. Obviously use your discernment. Not everything in the reading may resonate for you. It is a general reading, blah, blah, blah. What else though? I feel like I'm missing something. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, I'm just glad that we are both here. But of course, it does help me grow, and I love that. I do feel like I'm missing something, but whatever. If I think of it, if it comes to me, then I'll just message you in in the reading. So, yeah, let's get to it. Great. So, this is a reading for Sagittarius. Wherever Sagittarius shows up in your chart, I'm glad to finally be sitting down to do this reading. It honestly took me 2 days. I'm not sure why. I don't know. But we're here. We're here now. So, for Sagittarius, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Star, and I think is this the Devil? It is. Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. The Empress, Fool. I kind of love how in the Two of Swords, hopefully there's not a terrible glare, but there's these two beings back here, at the beginning and the end. There's three beings on the card. So just interesting. That's like the first thing that popped out to me. It could be, I keep getting this feeling about either spirit guides or loved ones that have passed, or even guides that show up for a specific purpose, like just to kind of give you that added oomph, or even just comfort. I am going to read from the book on each one of these cards because I feel like this author has a really cool perspective on the cards that really has nothing necessarily to do with like the traditional meanings. I mean, maybe a little bit, but some of them not at all. So, and I love that. I love that. That is the thing about tarot anyway, right? I mean, like, you truly make it your own, right? Like, I mean, once you understand at least like baseline, then truly the possibilities are endless. Now, I've seen this Two of Swords come out before, because honestly, I love the colors on it. These also feel very heart chakra and up. Heart, I almost said moon. Like what? Throat, third eye, crown. We have, a burst of solar plexus here, like with the yellow, but, just kind of dealing with those higher realms, connecting to heart chakra. The only blue really, I mean, I guess there's like some light blue in the Two of Swords. But it's all background stuff though, right? So even maybe just communicating, it's like a need to know basis. And maybe nobody needs to know right now, third eye, intuition, big picture, future, crown, a higher consciousness. That's kind of where I feel, we receive our downloads. So there's these two phoenixes on the Two of Swords. That also looks like an hourglass to me. Traditionally, the Two of Swords talks about decisions, choices. It's kind of more indecision, but there's clearly a decision that does need to be made when the Two of Swords comes up. It's just mind stuff. Because of course swords have to do with our mind, our belief systems, our mindset, ego too. Because that's generally where we tend to hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to feelings, circumstances, experiences, and it becomes our belief system. The reasons why we do and don't do things, it's the reasons why we have the perception of our realities that we do. And it's the reasons why you could look at somebody else's reality and be like, that's not how I see it. Well, no, right? We each have our different filters. So, like I said, it's interesting because the more that I look at this card, right? Like I said, it does look like an hourglass. So maybe it's either something that you've been considering for some time. Maybe there is a pressure behind time. Like if you feel like you're running out of time, if you feel like you're wasting time, if you feel like you don't have enough, like whatever, right? It's kind of like that pressure that comes behind those things. Even just being on a clock with the hourglass. The winds of time, like, was it General Hospital, or like what was the show? Days of Our Lives. God, what was the saying that, oh, that's gonna bug me. I don't have my laptop to like look that up. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments though. What is it? Like something like just like the something something something, so are the days of our lives or something, right? Like, come on, you know what I'm talking about. Oh man, soap operas. But it's interesting. Okay, so now these two figures down here, you know, I mean, they could be people around you, and of course it doesn't necessarily have to strictly be two people. It can be, especially because there are three people in this Two of Swords. There's three people in the Three of Cups. So there's something about threes. But like that could be hindering your decision-making process. This or that. Right? And also probably too, being able to see multiple perspectives, multiple outcomes is also probably a bit confusing. And what is also interesting is that these are like a mirror of each other. Same with these phoenixes kind of mirroring, in a way, their flight path or whatever, right? So it's like all the same decision is how that's like coming through. Like it's literally the same thing. It just might for some reason look different, maybe based on the person that you're considering it for, whatever, you know, but it's like literally the result may end up the same. Let's see what the book says. Two symbolic phoenixes arise to encircle the guardian in an evolutionary energy. As knowledge and experience evoke change to thoughts and beliefs, this guardian becomes more insightful and compassionate to the world. As this card appears in a reading, this indicates that you are ready to evolve, to change and embrace each moment as the new you emerges. The old you and the old ideas are still lingering around, and there is an element of balancing the two new selves until the time is right. When living the moment, you may feel as though you are stuck. However, this is truly not the case. Allow yourself to gather the knowledge and words to put into effect what you want in the world. What you want in the world. Sorry. Yeah, that's, even if it is yourself, right? I mean, like, it's like two aspects of yourself that maybe you are considering as like different things, but they're like literally the same. Or two, I mean, maybe it is just one of those things of like, you know, when big change happens like that, it does take a little while for things to like recalibrate. That's how I see it anyway. So yeah, it's like while you are waiting for this calibration thing to happen. Where'd it go? Allow yourself to gather the knowledge and words to put into effect what you want in the world. The old you and The old ideas are still lingering around, and there's an element of balancing the two new selves until the time is right. Because truly, right? I mean, like, we didn't, for the most part, like, we didn't become who we are overnight. Like, sure, events happened that zapped our energy, had an impact on us, truly, like, made us who we are, right? But we started every day, every decision, we started acting in that energy. We kept that belief in our head and kept coming back to it to the point where it became a habit. It became homeostasis, right? So this is the same thing, but it's like consciously making an effort to evolve, to change because you want to. So it's like every day, every decision, it's because it's so easy to slip back into the old self, but there's an awareness though. So you can be aware, like, oh shit, that, like, I'm reacting to that. I'm doing things, that belief snuck back in, whatever, right? Like, you can kind of stop it in its track and be like, wait, what is true for me going forward? Like, what do I want to put into the world or manifest into the world, right? And then switch the mindset, maybe switch your behavior, what you're doing. It just takes time. Developing a new habit, a new way of thinking, right? But at some point, it is also going to become second nature to you. The star card, Aquarius, the devil is Capricorn. It's interesting how this deck specifically, and truly only this deck, every time, for the most part, I think, when a major arcana card comes out, it has been either like the season after the sign that I'm reading for. Like, obviously Capricorn comes after Sagittarius, Aquarius comes after that, right? But it might be noticeable change, tangible change that you notice between Capricorn and Aquarius season. I mean, who knows? I don't know, but that just came to my mind. But the star card, I love this little owl. The star card is all about faith, hopes, dreams, trusting the process. I see the star card as being that literal space between the 5D, the ethers, like where we try to go when we meditate, right? Like, it's where you get clear on what you want to manifest. It's the field, So the star sits right between that and the 3D where we are, where we get to exist. And it's like the merging of those two worlds. Because we pull those manifestations down from the field into and actualize them into our lives, into literal reality, which is a bit like birth. Because I just heard in my head, creating something in your own image, which is really like what a manifestation is, isn't it? Like, I mean, truly, it is a creation that is being like birthed through you. And like, if it's not authentic to you, or if there's none of you in it, it just doesn't have a ton of security or like a leg to stand on type of thing. The book says the guardian listens to an owl messenger on a clear winter's night. The owl offers sacred knowledge that may come in the form of dreams, interesting coincidences, or just seeming to know something without being told. It indicates dreams and wishes that one casts into the night. And again, right, I mean, this is very third eye, maybe crown too. Like I'm trying to think of like, is it violet and then indigo? Is indigo blue? Anyway, as intuitive insights happen to nights with bizarre dreams, pay close attention to the occurrences and write them down. Within each occurrence, there is a message for you. Be open and be aware. This may also indicate that you need to seek the wisdom of an advisor in which to speak about your ideas, dreams, and wishes. Be sure to listen closely to the advice they give, even if it is counter to what you want to hear. I don't know why, but I feel like that's just as funny as like in the Virgo reading, they were told to be nice. That was like kind of funny to me. And I feel like that last line, be sure to listen closely to the advice they give, even if it is counter to what you want to hear. Really, I mean, just file it away. Whoever it is, I mean, maybe it would be a dream. Maybe you'll meet a mentor or therapy. And anyway, like, I feel like the things that we have the most like pushback to, it's like is that thing triggering something in you? And maybe either it could be something to work out, with another person, or it could even be something that you write down, because I think it mentioned occurrences and write them down. That was in yeah. And you explore on your own a bit later, like, why did I have so much resistance to that? Like, why did that feel? Because if it really is insignificant, would there be a response? Like, would there be any type of reaction to it? So just something to be aware of. We have the Devil card, kind of speaking of a little bit, but the Devil card talks about the things that control us, whatever they are. It can be addictions, of course, and that can be to a substance. It could be to distraction or numbing. The things that we obsess over. It's really like the things that keep us in place, which is interesting. Did the Two of Swords like talk about you might feel stuck? When living in the moment, you may feel as though you are stuck. Yeah. But the Devil card is literally like you may feel stuck over here. And, the thing that I wanted to say too with the Two of Swords is in the Matrix, there's the white rabbit. Right? It's like literally just a person that has a tattoo of a white rabbit on their shoulder or something. And I can't remember like the whole interaction, but I do remember them saying, choice is just an illusion. You already know what you want to do. That's also the energy of the Two of Swords. You know what you want to do, but then it's like all of the what ifs, all of the fear, the doubt, the what ifs. Did I already say that? It's like, it's all this stuff of that can't possibly be the right decision if all this shit is coming up around it. But that is probably the actual right decision if there is all that shit coming up around it, right? Like they say that the best decision or the best choice is the one that freaks you the fuck out. Go with that one. That's also the one that would promote the most amount of change and growth and evolution, right? So the Devil card says, disguised in a floral beauty of apple blossoms, this deceptive guardian warns of accepting beauty that is only surface level. Look deeper to the heart of the matter or the person behind the mask. It does look like they're kind of creeping. Before moving forward in any relationship, look beyond the surface that is put forth for the world to see. The deeper you look, the more you will find and be able to decide if this is something that you truly want in your life. Chances are the face that is being shown is not the true self, and you will need to find out why. So yeah, the whole being impulsive thing, cool it. If it sounds too good to be true, it might be. So just be aware, like that's the thing about masks, right? Like they really can only last so long before people forget that they even have a mask on. They get exhausted by it because it truly is exhausting, literally being somebody else, right? So, just keep your eyes, your third eye open, even heart chakra, because true, like you would know, and if you feel any inkling of, again, just something to be aware of, and instead of like immediately putting all your eggs in that basket, just take it easy, But I feel like this too is like, there's a lot to be found in the Devil card. There's a lot of information there, because if you are going through this process, right, and if you are in this mode of change and growth and uncertainty, Brene Brown calls them gremlins, right? Like that's when those stories, the fears, the doubts, they get really effing loud. And because our brains are designed to protect us, and they don't know that we're not literally being chased by a axe murderer. Even though we're just sitting there in a panic attack, right? Like they don't know the difference, right? So there's a lot to be found here, because what are the stories that are coming up for you? What are those gremlins saying? Are they true? Are they true for you now? They probably weren't true for you when the story was created, and for whatever reason the story was created with the information and the experience that you had at the time. But where you are now, with the information that you have now, with how you know yourself now, is it still true? And if it's not, because I can almost like guarantee 99.9% guarantee you that it is not true now, write it out, or even just sit with it and have a conversation with it in your head, out loud, whatever, because it's not going to last very long, especially if you are sitting in it. I mean, sure, 10-15 minutes, like, I mean, that does feel like a lifetime. But what is the story? Why is that particular story coming up? Again, is that true for you now? Is that something that you believe to be true of yourself now? Is that a truth that you want to continue to bring with you into the future? Or is it something that is literally like you've gotten to this point, right? You've gotten to this glass ceiling, which anytime I think of like the glass ceiling, I think of that book, The Big Leap. But you've gotten probably to this point multiple times. And maybe that's kind of where the discomfort got to be a bit too much, right? But there is an opportunity here to go past it. The Three of Cups is traditionally support from others. It's a card of celebration and friendship. But it's like everybody supports everybody else. You know, I always think of like going to brunch with like a friend group or whatever, and you guys are all just talking about, again, you know, just things that are going on in your life, good, bad, otherwise, right? But like everybody is present to that. Like everybody offers you support. Making friends, networking. Also, this is probably the shortest thing. It says, standing at the edge of a cliff, the expanse of the world set before the guardians reminds us that there are times when time spent with those who support us and celebrate our lives is exactly what we need. Life is an adventure. Live it without remorse. Like one sentence, except for, yeah, you know. You know, it could even be, you know, being around people, having conversations with people who really make you feel empowered. Because, of course, right, I mean, like the way that other people view us and versus the way that we view ourselves, sometimes completely different. Also good, bad, or otherwise. But, you know, but it's like just allowing other people to fill your cup a bit, especially through this process, and believing them. Which I think, is that what the star card said? Like, even if it's like counter to what you wanted to hear or whatever, right? Like, believe them. Like when they say, you're amazing. Maybe they have advice. I don't know. But also too, part of me is like, I totally get not wanting to be offered advice. But hey, at least for the time being, right? I mean, you don't want to give people free reign, but at least for the time being, tuck it away, write it down. Like I was saying too, like if there's something that you feel a lot of resistance to or feel kind of triggered by, that is something to take a look at. Okay, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.